Welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. Today we have Olga, and she's from Russia, and she's got a YouTube channel as well. We're going to put all her YouTube information in my description notes below. Olga, do you want to say hi to people?
Good morning or good evening. I don't know what time of the day is in your country. Hello, Brenda. I'm glad to see you, and I'm very happy that you invited me to your channel.
Yeah, well,
that you are interested in my person.
Well, first, you're a channel starting out, and you've got a very unique voice in quilting. Like your roses and whatnot that you were doing is just wonderful. And you got to talk to us more about your 100-day challenge. And there's lots of things about you that I find very interesting. So yes, I was kind of very excited when you agreed. I was like, "Ooh, she's agreed, she's agreed." So yeah.
I'm happy. I'm just happy because I'm new in quilting and well, I do only small things. I do only lunch mats, hot beds, and I have several blankets in progress, but I don't have enough strength to finish them. Yeah, so I'm really happy that you invited me.
Oh, okay. So, okay, the first thing I want to ask you is how long have you been quilting? But I know, like, and you're quilting like the pot holders and the placemats and all that. But how long have you been quilting? How long have you been drawn into this hobby?
I think a year and a half maybe. In the end of pandemic, I went to a sewing course, and it was a live course, not online. And so I was just happy after this pandemic to go out and to see real people. And we had an intensive where we have sewn 4 things. It was trousers, a skirt, a shirt, and a dress in 1 month. And there I remembered how to sew. And after this, I started making some small things, some cosmetic bags. I started recycling some clothes, like ties, for example.
Oh wow, that's a makeup bag.
Yeah, and this is made of also made of tires and jeans, and these are the small details on a tire. So see, these are these small details.
Oh wow.
This is made of these small details from tires. And it was a period when I was making tires for ladies, for women. So I took a men's tire and have sewn it in some way, yeah, and made a ladies tire out of it.
Oh, okay.
And I have made quite a lot, and I still have a lot of men's tire. I have boxes of men's tires. So, and I use them for my works.
Okay, so and when you started your quilting adventure, like what really sparked you? Like what was your, like...
Yes, the roses. I saw a channel of we have such a Russian blogger. Her name is Olga Tchizch, and she's very, very creative. And she also is sewing from old clothes, and she's recycling some old things. And I saw she made such a rose, and she made an application on some quilt of such a rose, and I liked it so much, and I started making some such roses, and I have quite a lot of my clothes that are now decorated with these roses. covered with these roses, all the spots, all the holes on my clothes. So this is a skirt,
Oh, wow.
and in the back also.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
this is a sweater, a jumper.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The skirt.
Oh, very cute. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. What a
Oh,
lovely little way to pop something, very plain and just make it just kind of like, pop and be yours, that is real. Like even the roses behind you, the blue and red roses behind you, those are lovely. And that's just all a scrap fabric or recycled any fabric. Like is it
any fabric.
any if any?
So the idea of uh, my project is that I work with what I have. So if I have some fabric, I recycle it into something in what this fabric can be recycled. So I start from the fabric that I have. I don't buy anything. Even before I started this challenge, the challenge is that I make 100 things without buying nothing for my work, without buying any materials. Out of the materials
No,
that I
well, Olga,
have,
is that a European challenge or is that a worldwide challenge? Or because I'm in
uh,
Canada, you're in
I,
Russia.
I don't know. No, I took it from, I think she's American blogger, Crazy Rebecca. I saw this challenge by her, and I decided also to start my challenge
Yeah.
the same. And I have now 20 things made. 20, so
Okay, 20. Oh
20,
my.
20 things made out of 100. So I have 1/5 made, and I buy nothing. I started this challenge on the 19th of May, so it is 3 months, and I made 20 things in 3 months. So I think that in 15 months I will do this the whole challenge.
Wow. That's and actually too, that's an amazing challenge to get because I know just from my stash, I could probably easily make 100 quilts. Easily. Right? Just and because doing my orphan block challenge, I'm amazed at how many quilts I've already made. Like it's just
Yeah.
like I think it was like 30 and then 56, and I can't even tell you where I'm at now.
Yes.
As
Yes.
to like I did 30 and 30 batch and then another additional 56, and then I've got a bunch more now. So yeah,
Yeah.
like and all I'm doing is orphan blocks. I'm not touching my stash, right? I mean, this stuff I have of fabric yet. So, but that's a really cool challenge because that we all have craft supplies, all of us. If we're doing any kind of crafting or we just have more craft supplies than we possibly ever need, you know?
So in 3 months, I didn't even have an idea to buy something because I understand that I have everything and I have a lot of everything. And I do not buy anything, but I still can take gifts from another people because I recycle
Right. Yeah.
their stuff. Yeah, it is secondary stuff. It is not a new stuff. So people continue bringing and giving me some clothes or some rests from production, and so I don't have any need to buy anything. So the same is about accessories like zippers, buttons. People give everything that they don't need, and you don't
Yeah.
need to buy.
Because there's been a few YouTubers too on over the last year talking about fast fashion and how to recycle fashion, how to recycle things from that you can purchase from the thrift store, and make it different or make it yours. And I always fascinated me because we our society here in North America, we throw out so much stuff that could be recycled. I mean, for a while there, what was it? Bonnie Hunter started cutting up shirts, men's shirts for cotton shirts, and putting them into quilts. And I did that for a while, and there's nothing wrong with that fabric. That fabric is
Yes,
absolutely stunning, So
yes, of course.
yeah, because I
This
mean,
is
there's
actually my dream to start making clothes, recycled clothes, and I have several ideas, and I even have material for it, but I don't have enough time to do all that I want. I have
yes,
hundreds of ideas and no time to fulfill.
yeah, I
But
I have a box in my sewing room here. It's about, like about yay big by yay big. It's a cube, one of those cube boxes, full of ideas. And I don't even get past the first inch. Right? Like I mean, they're old. Some of these ideas I'd have to dig for, because I put all my ideas in one box. Neither one of my girls quilt, so that'll all be in one place. I can take it and throw it out. But yeah, the ideas on what to do and what things to play with. Yeah, it's that's
I have hundreds of started projects, like a work in process. I
yeah,
have so many. I have several boxes of the things that I started. Uh, Actually, what I do now is are small things like lunch mats, cosmetics, bags. I'll show you my bags, because I mainly give them as presents, but this I kept to myself. It is made of jeans seams,
oh
and
wow,
inside it's an old men's shirt, yeah,
yeah,
and the original pocket from jeans, and
that's
this is the
awesome.
original belt from jeans,
Yeah, waistband,
waistband
yeah,
from jeans.
that's
And
beautiful.
zipper is also secondary, so even zippers are secondary by me in my projects. Uh,
Olga, my grandmother and my mom's, like both grandmothers, they would save buttons. They'd pick out zippers. They would, reuse. Like when the clothes had gotten too badly worn or whatever, they would take what they could out of it, and they would make quilts or make other clothing or other buttons. And they didn't throw anything good that they could reuse away. But we have become very, oh, we can just pitch that, and that attitude sometimes just, it doesn't sit right with me. But I mean, I try not to throw out stuff in my sewing room too. Like, just, it doesn't sit right. It just, something's wrong with that idea. Yeah. So okay, so you started quilting during the pandemic. Now, as you're watching this pandemic from your country, what things did you notice about the crafting world? Right? Like, I mean, like, what things did you really find that was bringing people together? Like, kind of like what tools? Like, was it Zoom? Was it, like people trying to, because people couldn't really meet in our country, we couldn't gather and have like quilting days or, days where we'd all sew. So we would try things like Zoom or Facebook Messenger or, stuff like that. Like, what kind of tools did they use during the pandemic for their crafting?
I think that they used all online um, uh, possibilities. Doesn't matter Zoom or Facebook. Uh, I noticed that there were much more courses, like study courses on
Yes.
patchwork during pandemia. And they were all online, and I was looking for a live course. And when I
Yeah.
found it, it was just sewing clothes. I went there, and yeah, I think that the amount of schools grew up, and the amount of bloggers who are doing master classes I'm not doing master classes. I just show the ways how to recycle.
Yeah.
So I'm not a master of patchwork. I understand this, but I just show that with what you have, you can make quite nice things.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Just and yeah, I just like I say, I just love the stuff behind you on the wall there. That's just like stunning. Okay, so you started a YouTube channel. What made you start this YouTube adventure?
I had a channel long ago. I had it since 2014, I think, and I'm a psychologist, and I used it for my psychology lections, but it was not developed. It was not popular at all. It was not developed, and it had like 10 subscribers, and now I also don't have many subscribers. I have, I think, 330, but they are all due to quilting and to this patchwork, to this ecological project channel. I found out that people like much more seeing some processes, yeah, when people are doing something, not just talking.
Yeah.
No matter what genius ideas they talk, it doesn't matter. It is much more interesting to see how somebody is doing something.
Yes.
I look the farmers, how they grow cows, and so how they take birth of cows. So I like seeing some material life, yeah, and
Yeah.
not listen to some ideas. And so when I started this, I call it ecology project Tchizch, I got some very popular very popular for my previous experience. It were popular videos like 6,000 views or 5,000 views for me are good because I never had such.
I know. It's just
Never had such. So
don't
and
give up on your YouTube channel, Olga. The first lesson I found, the first 1,000 are the toughest. Once you
yeah,
like, and I remember the day we went finally over, because it took us like months and months and months. It was like 10 months, and we were putting out lots of videos, and it took like 10 months to do that. And it was like the first month that we got over, it was like, wow, yeah, it was so exciting to earn that 31 cents Canadian. You can't even buy coffee with it, so it's like, yeah.
I think maybe I will have 1,000 in a year or in 10 months.
Yeah.
So if in 3 months I got 300, then in a year I will get 1,000.
Yeah, yeah, but you got to keep putting out videos and all the rest of the stuff. Yeah, don't give up to your beautiful voice. You have a very unique voice when it comes to like quilting and doing crafts and stuff like that. Now,
Thank you very much. I think it is due that I have an artist education, so I very rarely make actually patterns. I normally make some freestyle, and so I'm like drawing
yeah,
with fabrics. So I think this is my style.
yeah, and it's gorgeous. And it's good, you have to kind of explore what you really love to do. Yeah, I know. That's now
Yes, yes.
I I want you to tell us a sad story about your quilting and your sewing crafting. Like, do you have any sad stories for us?
I think it is not really sad story. It is the story that I want so much to make a big quilt, but I cannot. I have maybe 6 or 7 cut, and some even started. The tops are started, but somehow I cannot finish anything. I don't have enough energy. You know about this my long-lasting project, which is actually made by hand. Yeah, this
Yes.
is, you see,
So
you
lovely.
see
Yeah.
blanket. So it is two-side. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sewn and quilted by hand. And I'm doing it the second year, and I don't know where I finish it. The same is with all my other big projects. But well, okay. I think the problem is that I don't have a big machine which will allow to quilt on the machine. So I can make only quilt as you go, and I don't like very much quilts as you go because these bindings, well, they not always, they sometimes ruin, because if I'm drawing a picture, yeah, like this,
Yes.
I don't want to have bindings in between. So I
Yeah,
have the whole picture.
yeah, I did a couple
The
of
whole
quilts as
picture.
Quilt As You Go, and I did different methods on Quilt As You Go, and I was like, yeah, no.
Well, maybe I will try this. So I think that the problem is that I don't have an equipment to make to quilt a big quilt.
Yeah, like when you think, and two, it's our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, and but before they had sewing machines, that's what they did. They hand quilted everything. They hand
Yeah, you
sewed
know that.
everything. It's like, oh,
Yes,
like a
I
quilt would have
also
taken a couple of
made
years.
it. I have shown it on my channel. I also made hand quilting with these lunch mats.
Oh wow, that is
So
so
it is
beautiful.
in two colors. The rose is quilted in red with red color, and the other is with green color. And I tried to draw like
Yeah, I like
grass
how you made your stitching
leaves
like
on
leaves.
it.
That
Yeah.
whole leaf shape, that's beautiful. That
This
is
is the
beautiful.
second one. This is actually my style. I am like making a mosaic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm making a central figure, like a rose,
yeah.
and I'm making a background, and this background is made of different fabrics of the same color, of the same tone. And this is my style.
Yeah,
This is what I make. And the back side, I also make like an after quilt. Yeah.
yeah,
So from the same fabrics, I make a patchwork
they're
like
beautiful.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody has to use scraps. Um, so what was a happy story about your quilting? Did you ever give something to somebody that they were just overjoyed to tears, or they tell us a happy story?
A happy story is that I'm happy when I see my friends wearing the things I do. I feel a tailor. For example, I have made several hats like this.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah,
should also show how I do it on my channel. So you see, it is an original jeans seam here.
yeah.
They are made of different fabrics, of different jeans of different color, and some other fabric. And it is reversible, so you can wear it like this.
Oh wow.
This side up. And when I see my friends, both men and women, wearing my hats, I'm just happy because I feel like I am a designer, a fashion designer, and
Great.
I'm happy. Or my bags, for example. Recently, I met my friend. She's a girl, and she was wearing a coat from the production that give me their rests. It is called Sonia в Царстве Дива, and it is very ecological production. They throw out nothing. They give the things to me or to other people who are recycling. And I saw a coat from them on my friend, and at the same time she was wearing my bag. So, and when I saw And I love their production very much. I love their things very much. And when I saw that she combined their coat with my bag, I was happy because it means that I'm on their level. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that my bag matches their coat. It was a wonderful feeling, really.
Yeah, it is. It is when you make something with somebody and they just love it. I know, isn't it? It's just, yeah, it's the best feeling in the world, and people don't, yeah, they kind of, they don't get that if they don't do any crafting, right? They're kind of, they don't understand that. Ooh, they love it. Um, what was the hardest or most difficult thing you ever made? Do you have that? Like, do you have a story behind that, or like some quilters, they say they've attempted to do a Dear Jane and it just about killed them. Some people say, well, I've done this and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, do you have any of those, or do you just keep plugging along and keep working at something and hope that you get there? Or
I think I haven't yet finished the hardest thing I'm doing. And I don't know which thing will be the hardest because I have several long-lasting projects, very long-lasting. Maybe this Yesenian kilt will be the hardest.
okay,
Maybe,
we'll check back with
maybe
you in a
not.
year.
Maybe I will continue doing it by machine, and it will get easier. But I'm somehow stubborn, and I want to do it on by hand. But maybe I will change my mind and continue it on machine, and then I can finish it in a
Yeah,
month.
we'll check back in a year. Let's put it that way, see if you're still working on that. I know sometimes it's hard when you get to a certain point. It's like, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, I know you hit the wall, and that's that's it. Okay. What is your favorite part of the quilting process?
My favorite part is, of course, inventing the top.
Yeah.
It is always improvisation
Yes.
because when you are sewing such such a thing like I showed you, yes, when you're sewing such a thing, you never know what piece of fabric you will put next.
That's right.
Yeah, and it
Yep.
is like it is like appearing in the moment, and you
Yes.
don't know what it will look like.
Yeah, improv is very much being in that moment of self-discovery and putting the right pieces. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And I like this moment, this process of creation at top, when I'm giving birth to a top, and uh, and afterwards all the other thing I don't like so much because it is all wrapping, finishing, yeah.
So the least favorite part of your process is what? The finishing or
With quilting,
the
quilting.
quilting? Yeah.
And I always have some technical problems with quilting because at first my foot for quilting was working. Now somehow it doesn't work. Then I started quilting with normal foot, with ordinary foot, but it also doesn't work. Then I started quilting by hand. So I am not technically good. The main problems that I have are technical problems always.
Yeah. So yeah, like you mean you're talking about your walking foot, right? Or are you talking about your hopping, your actual quilting foot?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work, and I don't know why. And I just I try another thread, I try another needle, and I don't know why it doesn't work. It worked, but it somehow stopped working, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes you have to play with it. Sometimes it's the project, right? It's simply too thick. That you just, you're trying to
Maybe.
pound a needle through, let's say, denim, right? Like
Mhm.
jeans. Yeah, it might be too thick for the work, right? So
I want to show you some of my Boro projects. They are made, of course, by hand. Wait. Boro,
Just imagine
for example,
the big stack of stuff you've got beside you.
For example,
yes.
this, yeah. This is what I like, because for such things, I even like hand quilting. Actually, I like hand quilting.
Yeah, I find hand quilting soothing, you know, like.
And this is, for example, this is the pocket for this future bag. And I have several like this.
That's gorgeous, that one.
I like Boro. I think when I have time, I make several Boro and Sashiko bags.
Yeah.
This is also a top, and this is a pocket with fish.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. You see the thing too with Boro, like with Boro and Canthas and Kawandis, they're all kind of like a Kawandi. Like I was really surprised when I was doing my hand stitch Kawandi how you just grab a piece, you throw it in. It was just like it was so, you know, and then you stitch it along, you throw, you know, and keep going around until you're in. And I thought for sure this is.
Oh, I saw your Boro video. It was very interesting.
But that, like doing Boro or Kawandi, I mean, Boro is beautiful, right? Because it's just, you know, so random and lovely, and you know, there's lines, and oh yes, this is with a bunny. I love it. I
wanted to make it before the year started, the year of yeah. And this is the symbol of this year, and I still didn't finish it.
Oh wow, that is awesome. And you're just using embroidery thread, or do you use pearl cotton?
I use, it is called iris. Iris. It is called by us iris. I think, yes, it is embroidery thread.
Okay, yeah, because it
comes. People sometimes knit with it, with iris. Knitting.
Oh yes, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. When I was knitting, there was some wools that had, you know, 6 or 8 strands, and they were all kind of twisted around the beautiful cotton like, and they would come apart too. Yeah. Okay, we're winding this up, and if you have 3 tips for any beginner quilter, sewer, doing what you're doing, like reusing and recycling, what 3 tips would they be? Just 3.
Start with what you have at home, with ordinary instrument, ordinary scissors, ordinary ruler. Make size templates for different sizes from carton, and just draw around them and cut. So you don't need expensive equipment in the beginning. And also you don't need to buy expensive fabrics, because you can just recycle if you try, yeah. And don't know yet whether you like it, you can just cut some old clothes, and you will be surprised how nice things you can make of old stuff that you have at home without any expense at all. And then when you get craftsmanship, when you when you learn how to quilt, you can of course buy expensive fabrics and good thread and so on. But just to try and to find out whether you like it, you don't need it all.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it all.
And this is the first advice. And the second is that start with small things, because big quilt is the same that a small lunch mat. For example, this lunch mat consists of 3 details.
Yeah, 3 panels, they're sewn together. Yeah,
3 panels are sewn together. As here you have 3 panels, and in big quilt you have 100 panels,
Yeah.
but it is the same. So if you can sew this, make this, you can make a big quilt.
Yeah.
But you can learn on such small things.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. Start small, keep it simple, right? Keep your tools simple. Yeah, I remember mom, whenever we'd buy pantyhose, the cardboard that was inside the pantyhose, she wanted that cardboard, right? So
Mhm.
she would also use cardboard from cereal boxes to make templates of what she was drawing and everything else. Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
she'd label it so if she ever needed it later. I had a whole raft of cardboard pieces that I got from her, and it was just like, yeah, and things that we take for granted now because like we have the tools, we have these acrylic tools, and yeah, they use cardboard. They drew around every square. They made it perfect, but that would be long time. It'll take a long time to do something, wouldn't it now? Yes, but yeah, you're right. Starting out very small, very simple. Yes. Very good advice. And then
And
keeping your project small. Yes, that's a really good one. Even
yeah.
I started with a doll blanket, right? I mean, just in hand quilting, right? I mean, that's where I
Yeah.
started was a little doll blanket. So what's the third one? You got three.
The third one is first. I think that beginners can have the same problem as me, that they do not have equipment to make a big quilt. And I think that they should start with quilt as you go,
Yeah.
and just unite, quilt separate blocks, and then unite them with bindings. This can also make a very nice quilts.
Yeah, that's right. They can.
And it is easy. It is easy to make. It is very understandable, and so uh, the main thing is that the beginner do not have a fiasco and do not have a pain from this fiasco, so he could be disappointed and don't never continue. We should no, we should avoid it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should start the light version.
Yeah.
Start with the light version, and then you can deepen your craftsmanship.
Yeah, I agree there because I know some people they jump into quilting and they want to make a king size quilt and it's like no, you need to learn the basics first, then we move on to bigger projects. Yeah. They get overwhelmed or they want to make a queen size bed quilt, with a nice drop and everything, and they get overwhelmed at just the weight of it, when they're trying to
Yes.
sew it, right? Or
Yes.
trying to do free motion quilting on their sewing machine. Yeah. Definitely
Uh,
agree. Start small, work big, and then work out.
People sometimes overestimate their strengths because make a big quilt is really big work. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of hours, a lot of
Yeah.
energy. So um, it will be a pity if a person starts and then gets tired and disappointed and quits, and
Yeah, and then you
that would
spent
be
all that,
pity.
yeah, you spent all that money and nothing's coming of it. Okay,
Yeah.
what are your three most favorite tools that you use when you're doing your crafting? What are your three most favorite ones?
I use very simple tools. Maybe well, I want to show you one tool that is mine. I was making heads. Heads have such rounded seams, yeah, and I can never. My heads looked not very good because the seams were not ironed,
Yeah.
and I made such a, I don't know how to call it, such
An
a thing.
ironing ham. That's an ironing
How?
ham. Well, we call
Yeah.
it in North America, we call them ironing hams. So basically you can put curved things on them and on iron.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And now I use it, and I feel it with the tiny scrap like this. It is filled with the rest of the rest and threads and so on. So it is very ecological.
Yes, that's yeah, those hams were stuffed with all and they were stuffed hard. So they would stay hard. You know, they were almost overstuffed. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, your ironing ham is one.
Normal roller blade.
Oh,
How
yeah,
it is called?
rotary cutter like this?
Roller cutter. I think you have electric. Yeah, you
No,
have electric
this one's manual. It's got a ergonomic
manual.
handle.
So yes, I
Yeah,
also have manual. So roller cutter. Yeah,
yeah, rotary cutter.
roller
Yeah,
cutter.
yeah.
And
My mom and grandma didn't have one of the. Well, mom did get a small one eventually, but grandma never had one of those. That was that. It just is so slick. You know, instead of cutting very carefully on a drawn line. Yeah.
it's clips. Don't know. Also cannot show you. The clips which hold the edge. For example, when you are making bags.
Yes.
Uh,
Those clips. Yes, I know which ones you're
yes,
talking about. They're little
I
plastic
like.
clips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like them very much.
Yeah, I use the metal binder clips for my stuff. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This stuff, right? This is the kind of thing I use this,
Yeah, yeah, but
right?
I use smaller.
Yeah, smaller ones than that, but
Mhm.
yeah, because they're cheap at Staples. They just, you know, they're a lot cheaper and they last forever. And any of those plastic clips, I've sometimes had a lot of problems. They break. They just break on
Mhm.
me. Maybe I'm using them too rough or something, but yeah, they tend to snap on me all of a sudden, but maybe I'm too hard on them. So the metal ones last forever and you know they don't rust. So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, so that's my thing that I use. Yeah. So any last words, Olga, last words of encouragement you want to give everybody? For beginners, for people that have been doing this for a while, any encouraging words you want to give?
Um, just try quilting. It is a very resourceful um, process because it is like a therapy. You have color therapy. Mm, you have like you feel the surfaces, different surfaces.
Yes.
Yes, and it is also very pleasant, very satisfying. I like quilting because I love to touch the quilts
I
because
know it's the
they're
texture.
so different
Yes, the texture of the
because
quilt when
of
you're done.
different
Yeah.
fabrics, different textures, and I like making textures myself, like from seams, yeah,
Yes.
and like this is I think also lazy Boro that you also
Oh yes,
made.
that's kind of like a koandi almost. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so it is. So they are all so interesting and different to touch, to sense, and I want only to tell that quilting is very, very resourceful. And if you are in the process and if you love it, you will definitely get a very beautiful thing. So just try it, don't be afraid of it. It will it won't take your sources, your resource, but it will give you much resource.
Yeah, I agree. I very much agree. So, anything you want to say? Anything else you want to say? Because we're getting to wind it up here. No, yes, maybe.
Well, no, actually, I didn't expect that I will fall in love with quilting. Because we don't have, in Russia, we don't have a history of quilting. No, poor people in villages were making such blankets, but still, it is not such a rich history as in USA or in Canada, in new countries where people came from all over the world. They didn't have enough clothes, they didn't have enough things, and they were recycling the old things. We don't have it in history, but still there is an interest in Russia to this art, to this craft. I didn't expect that it is so interesting and so resourceful, and that I will really love it.
And two, like even when you start throwing in the recycled clothes and all the different colors and textures and everything and all the fabric that we now have available, even the quilting fabrics, right? I mean, we have just an amazing array of fabrics. We walk into these stores and I'll take a yard of everything. No, I could never take a yard of everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stunning some of the stuff that's available to us. And when you go into recycled clothes, you even have more, right? More stuff to look at. Yeah, it's falling in love with fabric texture, graphic designs, or being improv roses, or it's wonderful. That exactly. Yeah. Well, Olga, I was so excited when you agreed to do this, and I am so thankful that we got together and we asked you about it, and we agreed. I thought this would be so cool to do, and you give a different perspective than most quilters do, because you're not doing the great big quilts, and you're not doing like you're doing a lot of handwork too. That also, it was a very enticing, to get a different perspective. And I want to really thank you for coming on today and just, chatting with me, hanging out and chatting. So anyways, we get ready to go say goodbye to everybody. You guys, if you're my viewers and you want to go check out what
I
Olga.
also want to say thank you to you. I am really inspired by your work, because first of all, you are working with scraps. That is what I respect very much. And you organized such an amount of people, several thousand, in a group. You have these fabulous sewing rooms, virtual rooms. I get every time I come, I get such a pleasure from sewing together in the company with these expert ladies in patchwork. And I'm very, very grateful to you, and of course for inviting me to this interview.
Well, I'm glad it's kind of an international community in those virtual sewing rooms and those Zoom sew dates. It's just amazing how it's gone right global. And I excuse me, I've never for a minute thought it would go global. I never for a minute thought it would go anywhere past Canada or the US. Maybe a few subscribers from the US, but yeah, but mostly no, I never had an envision that this would happen. So I mean, but it's about building a community, right? Where we gather and we, hang out and sew and chat. And some of those members have become friends. Some of the members now, the first time because they're sitting in the virtual sewing room all the time, and well, do you want to be friends? Yeah, okay. And the next thing you know, they're friends, right? So yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing that's happening, you know, that people are bonding over that kind of thing. But yeah, I want to thank you again for coming. Now, my subscribers, if you have not checked out Olga, her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below. Go check her out. She knows the shout out is coming, so you know, like go subscribe and say hi to her and all the rest of this, right? So that's hopefully she'll be able to get, you know, a little bit bigger and, you know, have some more subscribers, because the analytics too, as long as you're really, as long as you're under 1,000, you're not put out forward very often. So yeah, help her out, get her channel growing. So that would be awesome for all you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Olga. Okay, we'll say goodbye now. Okay, guys, it's been fun. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Okay, bye.
Bye, Brenda. Bye, guys.
My husband and I would love to thank you for all of the amazing people that we have met along this crazy YouTube adventure that we've been having. We do free speaking engagements too, so if you're part of a guild and they're looking for, you know, people to talk and, you know, and chat with, you know, in their monthly meetings, tell them that I'm doing free ones just to help the guilds out, because it's been a tough time for the guilds as well. You know, share, like, and subscribe with your friends. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they get the word out on us. That's, I mean, that's the best way you can do to help us out. So until we meet again, I want to thank you. Okay, goodbye.